Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I'm Ashy, your GM. I won't say the usual crew. We've got one or two either late or missing. Our intrepid cleric slash artificer Nord isn't here. And we have a Venny who plays Jadis or Rin late. That being said, show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to give me a recap for a bardic inspiration?
No.
I nominate Tristan.
Yeah.
Session 21, we found out that Kaplan and Malcolm were having a quick little discussion, and Kaplan's assistant came and said, "Hey, you know how you're looking for the dwarf with red hair? We found him." And so they gathered a few extra people. They ran down.
Horses, I think.
Yeah, well, oh yeah. We got some horses down. Kaplan literally jumped off the horse and then knocked the guy on his ass.
Golden jumped off the horse and knocked himself on his ass.
He did, yeah.
Yes. And they managed to subdue him. He tried to take his life, and then one of his friends said, "Kill or die or something," and he died. So they took the body over to Rin, and Rin spoke to him, and they asked some questions. Who is the necromancer who helped you? Because they found out that a necromancer converted all the bodies on the ships on the Storm's Regret into zombies, or I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Apparently, what clan is necromancer? And the answer was he is powerful, and I didn't hear his name. Second question was, what clan is necromancer? Dark Fist. Which Gold says is bullshit.
It's never said it was a necromancer. It was asked if it was a wizard. Also hearing breathing on it. A lot of breath coming through on one of the marks. Looks like it's yours here. That.
Okay, I'll try and mute in between. Who do you serve? I serve the Shadow Hand. I serve the Soul Knife. Who is the head of the
Shadow Hand.
Yep, who is the head of the Shadow Hand? Why are you destabilizing the rifts? We were promised glory, and that the world would be ours. And are all the Shadow Hand aligned with his goal? We are all united. Then they redrew the two groups. Who's going after the artifacts? Who's staying here to help with the Shadow Conference, and then going to Sidesay? Yeah.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh yeah. And Tanya managed to make Kane, the Steel Defender, into a standalone robot with a remote control or something, which
He transferred obedience to Colwyn.
Yeah. So Colwyn gets to keep it, and she's going to rebuild another one while she goes.
Colwyn got a forever dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, take your bardic inspiration. That was close enough. I think you touched
There
on
was
most
one
of the magic
other
points.
important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very glad that Colwyn has all of his money tied up in the race, because if anything happens, if people get say, "Okay, I'll just pay for that." Where's the money? The money's in the bag of holding. Where's the bag of holding? With Tanya. Where's Tanya? Halfway across the continent.
Hasn't actually
Pretty
left
much.
yet.
said that we're about to leave. They haven't actually left.
Best of my knowledge, you guys are leaving once the great race kicks off, and they are leaving once the great race kicks off, and everyone's distracted by it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which makes sense.
which brings us to the dawn of is it day 3, I think, in Dune City. That's right, people. 5 or 6. How long have we been in Dune City now? 7 sessions?
Don't ask. There have
I
been
don't know.
also
It's been a
times where we've
while.
had to miss weeks. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah, Dune City has been a big chunk of time, and they're 3 days in. So, middle of the morning, Varis, only needing 4 hours of sleep, gets his kip, then goes to the garden, see if Denson is awake, checks on his friends, something pressing and urgent on his mind.
He probably would have organised this before he went to sleep, but yes.
Well, there you go. Before he goes to bed.
Varis would have gone up. Varis would have gone up to Denson. He would have, before everyone split apart, he would have said, if I'm leaving, I need to move my brother's funeral forward, obviously. Denson, I have a quick question to ask, but everyone here is welcome to come if they wish. Let me know. And then he just wanders over to have a chat to Denson.
Ah, yes, Varis. What can I do for you? The effigy would be ready by now, by the way.
Hmm.
Or he's putting the finishing touches on this night to get it ready. So
Yeah, he's had plenty of time to do it.
Yeah.
Between the rest of his work, seeing as he spent a lot of time in the garden.
hmm
How akin are you to? How akin are you to a little bit of fire in your garden? Controlled, of course.
well, controlled, yes, not a problem. We do use fire as well within the garden, so
Can I just point out that's very similar to what he asked last week, or was it the week before, where he went up to a elderly scribe and said, "I need to see you bleed."
Yes, yes.
yeah, but clearing out weeds and plants and various bits and getting rid of
Mm.
dead wood, there's going to be the odd fire in there, but it will be
Yeah.
controlled, so
Yep.
that's not a problem.
All right. I was thinking back to how relaxed I felt in your garden, and I was wondering if we could hold the funeral there.
I don't see why not. In fact, we have a small themed area, which is obviously where I got the wood from for the great wood. I think it would probably be suitable.
That would be beautiful. And then Varys says, "I'm going to go and let, go and let my uncle know of the change of plans,
Arrangements, of course.
arrangements. Maybe invite like the base base commander whose name is somewhere in the hundreds of pages of notes I have
I'll
here.
get it for you, man. I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is in mine. Up the top. Hi, Lord Gavin McCree.
Yep, that's the one. And we will probably have the funeral at like dawn.
Okay, I shall accompany you back so that I can get to the garden and get a good night's sleep. Then
Appreciate it.
I suggest you tell everybody that's when it is, and I will see you just a little before dawn so that we can get everything set up and ready.
Understood. I will see you there. Thank you very much for all this, Jensen.
Not a problem.
And as far as this goes, I believe I've arranged for a full cart of seedlings from the Great Wood to come your way
That's wonderful. Well,
as well.
since I will be going away with people, I shall let my my deputy know. But I'm very grateful for the seedlings. It will greatly enhance the Great Wood part of the garden.
Groove.
Mhm.
I'm assuming you guys are walking at this point, or are you going to have a chat to everyone
Well,
there
we
to
have a
let
chat
them
to
know?
everybody about what it is, and then we'll be. Sorry, I've just seen a photo Vanny posted. Anyway,
Mhm.
so yeah, we'd tell everybody, and then probably both of us would be heading to the keep.
Yep.
Because he needs a word with his uncle, and I need to just go to the garden, do a few things, and get my head down.
So you make your way to the garden,
Mhm.
starting to get a rest. Do you head to the garden to have a look at it first, Varis, or do you head straight to Carrick?
I head straight to Carrick.
Okay. So making your way inside, stop at the gates, blood test as per the instructions that were organised with Lord Gavin McRae and his guards, his knights.
Yep.
Up to their 5th story where your uncle is staying. Sorry, go on.
I just had a funny thought that maybe I should clear this with Lord Gavin first.
Up to you, but probably get your uncle's opinion first.
Alright.
Entirely up to you, man. Whatever you want to do.
I was told to organise this thing.
Okay, go for it.
I'll quickly see if I can have a chat to Lord Gavin before he goes to bed.
Do you know if your uncle wants to keep it to family or general?
Given the way he died, I don't think a public affair would be appropriate.
Mm.
The
Sorry,
reason-
completely out of character, voice in the wind.
The reason
Yeah.
the reason
Go on.
why I want
Let him know about the fire.
let him know about the fire, one thing, and the second thing is the elven guards may wish to attend. So he wants to see if he can borrow one or two guys to stand outside the garden for an unspecified duty.
Okay. That's fair enough. So you head up to the 3rd floor,
Yep.
where the High Lord's office is. Knock, knock, knock. You can see under the door that the light's still on and he's burning the late night candles, still working. Enter.
Hi, Lord. I've come to ask a favour.
The youngest son of Gillicent. How may I help you? And you can see that the iron grey hair, the iron grey handlebar mustache, the grey eyes are just tired, and the mountain of paperwork that you saw previously when you were here is only higher.
I mean no offence, but before we continue, and he pricks his finger, and and then
Shakes
says,
his head. You wouldn't be in here, lad, if you hadn't already done that.
I am very sorry, but this is potentially of a sensitive nature.
Looks at you. Sighs. Roll a persuasion. For him, in his tired state, not to just toss you out on your ass.
Had the wrong. I
On
had
character.
Kaplan loaded up. My bad.
It's fine. He's the character you're going to be playing for the rest of the Dune City arc.
15.
Okay, so he looks at you, sighs, pulls out a heavy felt knife, pricks his finger, shows you the red drop. Are you satisfied now, whelp?
Yes.
And there is that tired exasperation to his voice. And you can understand with the bloody sheer scope of Dune City
Yeah.
and the summit that he is not getting a lot of rest. He is overworked and tired as hell.
And all the crap that's been going on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Varis continues. I wish to. I wish to have a funeral for my brother inside the keep garden.
Waves his hand. That you'll need to speak to the gardener, Denson.
It has been arranged with Denson.
Okay.
The thing is, some of the elven guards will probably wish to attend. Do you think you could spare one or two men for a unknown assignment? Just out.
I could guess what the assignment is, buddy. Checking people coming in and out, and just general security so that they can relax and actually attend the
Yes.
ceremony.
Yes.
My understanding is your older brother was the sword of House Gillison, the martial commander. A lot of them were his troops. He trained them himself.
Yes, he was.
I can understand them wanting to be at the memorial for a respected commander.
And of
I'll organise a soldier, lad. You just farewell your brother.
And of course, you're welcome to if you wish.
Looks at the paperwork, looks at you, goes, I will, if I am invited, I will do at your house, respect, if attended.
Yes. Yeah. And Varys then says, and then Varys says, thank you very much for your time. It will occur at sunrise.
And the Lord's first light
Yes.
is a night of soul. Of course, that's where his mind went.
And then Varys says, if you'll excuse me now.
Get some rest, lad.
Thank you very much, High Lord. And he leaves the room and closes the door behind him. And then he goes up to see Carrick.
So, up and over 2 flights of stores. 2 flights of stairs, not stores. Knocks on the door again. Who is it there? A bit late, isn't it?
And then he said, and then Varys says it, and then Varys says, "It is me. It is me, Varys. Your favorite
Is there
son.
anything wrong there, lad?
I need to relay
Door
some
opens.
information. Some information in regards to Adrin's funeral.
Oh, moves in. Come in, sit down. What do you need? What can I help you with?
I need you to be present in the garden at sunrise. Unfortunately, I must leave. Unfortunately, I must leave to go to Dune. Unfortunately, I must leave to go. I must leave to go west tomorrow, so the funeral will need to be moved forward. It is all ready to go.
Yes. Well, you've done well, lad. I'm sure you've done everything. West, you say?
Yes.
He looks at you, wanting to ask, but he doesn't. Well, I'll wish you safe travel, lad. Get out, see the world. Hold you.
It is what you told me to. It is what you told me to do, Carrick.
Proud lad.
And then he says, "Oh," and then he says it will be in the garden at sunrise. If you do not mind, I shall go to my room in the keep for tonight, though.
Quite all right, lad. I mean, with the new security precautions in there, I think the ban on you being in the keep has been lifted.
And it will not matter after sun after. Oh, it wouldn't matter too much tomorrow either. But yes.
Have you got a decent horse, lad?
Yes, you've got horses ready.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Was
He's a
it discussed?
concerned uncle.
Was it discussed? Does Varis know this?
Yes, Rin
Yep,
literally
yep.
said it to
Alright,
the group.
Yeah.
He says, I've been offered horses by the what's the name delegation.
Her Highness, the freaking
I've got it.
Mao.
Yeah. I've been we've been offered the finest horses, but by the Mao delegation.
Strangers there getting involved.
Everyone is involved in what's happening. It is. It is not something which involves just this country or our country and theirs. The whole world is at risk here, and thus we are.
News, lad. Keep me updated. If there is anything that we can do, let us know. If it is like as you say, you need to sit down. Tell me what's happening. Again, the breath. Move your microphone away.
Varis says, you know how there were rifts. You know how the rifts were closed up to prevent. The rifts were closed up after the Phoenix fall.
Vaguely.
They
There was none in the Great Wood. We were too busy trying to survive the cataclysm.
Yes.
Especially since the Great Wood was ripped in half. Many of our kin were lost by that.
Well, we have, as far as we know, 2 or 3 of the rifts are failing right now, and the reason why, and one of the reasons why I'm going, is because I was partially responsible by pure accident for one of these rifts failing.
Lad, when I say that I need information, I need to know what's happening. This is something I need to bring to the council at the summit. If the Fredis die as you say, is this something that the summit needs to address?
Paris is going to. I'm sure you don't need me to go and tell you everything. But
No, you just go.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you bring him up to date on what he might not know.
Yeah.
Do any of the other leaders know, lad? Will I have allies bringing this forward?
Several of them may know. Several of them may actually know through their intelligence services.
What about that dwarf and his kinsman?
He is well aware of the situation.
I thought he might be.
I believe he is leaving with us to try and catch up with the ship.
And I imagine the Mao are aware of it.
Yes. The Mao princess. The Mao are sending their princess Rin with us as well.
He pauses a moment, blinks. Their princess. One of the, and he kind of air quotes, divine line of the Mao.
I'm not that versed in Mao politics.
Neither was I until a couple of days ago. I've had to learn fast, lad.
Can't remember whether Rin's actually a princess or not.
She is.
I was told she was.
She is.
Yeah,
She's
fair
literally the cousin of the heir to the throne, who's the representative
Got
for
you.
the Mao. So when
I knew there was a link in there, but you know.
when her excellency is Venny addressed her, called her cousin, it was a literal "this you are my cousin" sort of thing.
Got you.
Not as in a noble house cousin, where everyone's a cousin without actually being related.
Got you.
They got to think about using better words.
Yeah. Anyway,
Varis is going to say, the guards obviously. I'm sure some of our guards served under Adron. So if they wish, I've arranged for the keep to supply security for this event, so they may
that's
attend.
well fought, lad. That is well fought. Now, fetch me down the map from over there. We're going to mark out where these rifts are. I'll see if I can't talk to delegates and smooth your way into lands where they might be.
He points out on the map. Do you want me to go through them again?
No. It's
No.
it's purely
Yeah.
role playing for because it's something that he would ask.
Yeah. For anyone watching the stream, the fire rift is in Honeyheath. The air rift is at Mount Kaminari and Life's Reef. The water rift is in the sibling upper
Yeah, Bill. Okay, I'm going to stop you there before you
Yeah.
name it too badly. Give me 1 second to bring up my notes, people. Because it's just I'm just wincing every time he says it now.
Just wait until I get to the funeral prayer.
Okay, so as he said, the first one is near Honeyheath. Honeyheath was established as a security point and guard for it, but they've forgotten their duty over the 2,000 years that have passed. Mount Kaminari in Life's Reef has a rift to the plane of air. Deep Caller's Grotto at the Sibilant Archipelago. Plane of Earth is at Mykonos in the Underdark. The Abyssal Plane is in somewhere called the White Waste. And they've been told outright not to go anywhere near that by a big red orc. The Infernal Plane is at the Imperial Palace of Saisei. So 6 portals. With the most problematic probably being the last 2. But the one of them being out of their hands entirely, unless they want to go up against someone that could sort of use their bones as a toothpick. Anyway, I'll let you keep going with what you were doing.
He's. Do you think Varis has had time to finish the translation of the book?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Varis says, "Here is the final half of the translation of the history book, by the way. Until dawn, then, Carrick."
Hey lad, I'll see you then. Get some rest. And stay safe, my lad.
I will.
And out you go back to your room. Quiet, dark, a bit empty of your possessions that you had there. There are a few bits and bobs there, but that you hadn't taken with you, and that you probably won't take with you when you leave again. Mementos, a portrait of your mother, so on. And in a moment of quiet reflection, looking at a portrait of the three brothers, your two older brothers and yourself, you feel a deep sense of loss at your brother Adrian's death before you retire for the night. As you get into your trance, you feel like you're falling, constantly falling. You get a reminiscence of the dreamscape of your patron, but there is no comforting warmth. There is no welcome or sense of protection. There is a deep, bone-chilling cold and the creak of either old bones or wood. I can smell you, little pet. You smell like her. And you get the sense, absolutely terrifying sense, of something searching for you in the dark.
Yikes.
Then, running through a forest of dead trees. Trees on the verge of dead, but not dead. Reaching for you, scratching you, trying to block your path, and the sense of that thing seeking you. And then and then you hear, chase him, my pretty pets. And then the sound of growls and howls behind you. Feet, paws hitting the ground. Closer, closer, ever closer. And then nap up, awake, drenched in cold sweat. Whoever it is that opposes your patron is aware of you. And whether they dragged you into the dream or they blocked your path to your patron, you don't know. Outside your door, hear a soft, menacing snarl, reminiscent of your dream. A second one answers it, and the pad of footprints outside your door, pacing back and forth. They're just gone. What are you thinking there,
Well, that
Varis?
can't be good.
Does my room have a window?
Yes, it does.
Millie is probably with me, so
Mhm.
Millie, Go around the other side. Check the door before I come out. Okay.
So she goes around, and what's her AC?
Um. Should be. 13.
And her HP?
7, I think.
Oh dear.
7. Yes.
Millie comes in through a window nearby, and out through a door that's left open. As she comes around, she gets the barest glimpse that she transfers to you of large, hulking, canine shape, whether they're wolves or not wolves. It's like hunting hounds, giant, collared, eyes glowing with menace, and that's as much as you get as giant, great jaws close around Millie, crushing the life from her. And then you hear the pause, pad, and almost on the edge of hearing, you hear a voice. Come back to my dream, pets. It's too soon. And you hear those paws running and fade. Not as if they're getting into distance, they're just fading into something else. As if crossing a barrier. And you get the sense. Roll and what are you thinking at this point? Sorry, before anything else.
Freaking out because something is able to phase in creatures and stuff, and phase them out.
So you're thinking about it. So roll a wisdom or intelligence for me. To reason this.
That's 15 sound.
Sounds fairly decent. You get the sense that it wasn't so much that they could do it, as that they followed the path, the connection that you made to that dream realm, and they travelled down that, but slightly askew. That something about the keep itself potentially blocked them from entering your room. You don't know if it was your room or it would have been any of the living quarters. So it's not that they could phase in or out, it's that they tracked you along the path, the trail that you forged in and out of that dream realm. And then they ran back along it to leave. As you sit there, thinking, you can vaguely feel that trail, and it's that thinness in the whatever that is between that dream realm and where you are now. But you can feel it strengthening and that barrier solidifying again from that path that you push through it. What are you doing?
Cautiously opening the door,
So,
solemnly, and then get ready for.
investigating perception. What are you doing there?
I'm going to listen very closely to the door to make sure that nothing's out there, then open it a crack, then just, yeah.
Yeah, listening, there is no sound there. You open it a crack, look around. What's your passive perception?
13. 13.
Looking at your eye, looks at the ground there for a second, and you see in that solid stone floor paw prints embedded into the stone as if it was a muddy sort of ground, a perfect print of a massive canine. These creatures have basically left tracks in solid stone.
Poor Millie. I'll get you back, don't worry.
And yes, I did get that idea from somewhere, and I make no apologies. It is a freaking cool idea.
Yep.
I will want to research this, obviously, but
Yeah.
now is not the time. I have a funeral to
Yeah.
prep for.
Quite all right. Excuse me. Anyway, you have had your long rest. You prepare for the funeral, and coming down, you have a meal, what to eat, basically, and prepare for the. Or are you fasting at this? I don't know.
No.
No. I was leaving you room to do what you wanted with elven rituals and whatnot. So you head down for the funeral. As you're going down, stepping out onto the stairs as you go down, High Lord Gavin McCrae sees you. Good morning, lad. You look a bit haggard there.
Just something happened.
Oh,
Is this castle protected magically in any way, pray tell?
oh, greatly so. The very walls are laced with magic in its construction, the mortar itself. These keeps are the most secure facility on the continent, if not the planet.
That is worrying, then. I was...
As you say this, he is looking extremely concerned.
The threat is gone for now. You may wish to
Threat?
send... Someone from another realm sent some giant dogs into the corridor to try and find me.
Giant
Ate my pet. You'll see some footprints back up there. You may want to get someone to fill in the
Hold, lad, hold. Footprints in solid stone.
Yeah. Hence, I'm a little worried.
You don't
In
speak
the
of the Wild Hunt, do you?
The Wild Hunt?
Well, the only hounds I know of that would leave prints in stone is the Wild Hunt.
That will help me research. That will help me when I research this.
You speak of myths and legends.
I'm pretty sure this isn't a myth and legend anymore, unfortunately.
Even so, I can't see them getting through the walls of the keep. If there was an open breath, not finding someone breathing down a mic.
Oh, stress.
Yeah, I know. Even so, the only way I could see them getting through is through a breach in the defences, and there is none. We would have alarm louder than you can imagine, rousing the entire keep, were that the case. I do not speak lightly when I say that this is possibly, with its sister keeps, the most guarded facility on the world. And he frowns. I say that, but one of the keeps fell in the just before the Dark Ascension by treachery. I am troubled that the Wild Hunt went inside a building. They've never been known to do that.
My lord, I believe they were after me, and I believe I don't know. I saw this link. I saw this barrier. You may not know it. You may not know it, but I am a warlock. I'm a warlock of.
I see.
I'm a warlock who.
God, sneezing!
I'm a warlock of a celestial being. He says, putting up his hands.
Nice save. You were going to get burned at a stake. Frowns. I will take your word for it, sir. Though it seems you've run afoul of the dark power. And
Yes,
and you can feel that is a capitalized P when he says it.
and then it says, and then he talks about how he saw the veil between his dreams and stuff, and how he feels the wild hunts may have come out, may have traced him via him, and
It sounds like you've made. It sounds like your consciousness made a temporary breach, and that's what allowed it. From what you've said, they did not feel it sound easy or comfortable within this place. I am satisfied that the keep's defences are intact. Were that not the case, that door would not have saved you.
Good point, actually.
I have the funeral to prep for now, and I shall be
I will
leaving,
make sure that is fine.
and I shall be.
I will have a full 1 moment, sir.
Sorry.
I will arrange in greater detail security. And there are several priests, several clerics of soul attended in the guard. Your safety are my responsibility until you leave.
Which will be later on, and hopefully this will lessen your workload. You seem massively overworked.
I will sleep when I am dead, probably. And you proceed down the stairs, and as you're going down, he has a quiet word to a few soldiers and organises their extra security detail that he feels that you need.
I'm just trying not to make this episode all about me, so I'm trying to push forward to the actual funeral, that's all.
Dude, seriously, I am barely staying awake here. It's not you. So, in terms of you getting character development and being able to do stuff when we've got like half the groove missing, trust me, if there was ever a time for it, it's now. Don't feel guilty. Try and enjoy it because this is something you can have guilt-free.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Carry on.
You proceed down to the. Honestly, man, everyone will have this point at times, and it's just come around. We had Rivers meet where it was all bloody. You barely saw an episode 2 weeks, but you did more than say hi, and it was all Colvin and Golder.
Absolutely.
So don't feel bad about it. You proceed down to the grove. See, the effigy laid out on a small wooden altar as per your instructions, with woods made from trees. Woods from trees, from the trees of the great wood. I swear I fumble that more than prepared. Come closer, you smell scented oils there on that. Help ignite it and mask the smell that would normally be there of a burning body, though in this case that will not be the case, but tradition demands. Carrick is there waiting, having a quiet with Denson. Is at this point betrothed is there.
Who, sorry?
His fiance, mate. His little squeeze that he's got.
Oh, alright, yeah.
Being a man of birth, he's had to make it official. Yeah. We're working on it. As you come forward, Carrick looks up, smiles at you, nods it, gives a slight nod to High Lord Gavin McRae as of equals, who returns a nod. Good morning, lad.
Morning.
You see, as you stand there having guards following in pairs and stand in formation in their armor, bright, ceremonial, polearm gleaming in the light as they stand at attention, facing the bear.
You okay?
Yeah, waiting on you, man.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
setting the scene. This is your show, not mine.
He was so drawn in that he completely forgot he was there.
Oh, no, I was just wait. It just didn't. It seemed like you were like looking at notes or something. That's all.
No. I was checking your word, but I was waiting on you.
All right. Varis looks over to Carrick as if to say, "Are we ready to go?"
Looks around. Just waiting on your brother. He should be here shortly.
I look at the effigy. I close my eyes. I smell the room, and then I go up to Denson and I touch him on the shoulder, which normally would be weird. Normally would be weird for someone trying to touch a Minotaur on the shoulder. But because the Minotaur is short and Varis is kind of tall, it actually works out.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Thank you for this."
You're more than welcome.
Now we pretty much wait for
Oldest
hang
brother.
on. This is the funeral of Amyr, not Adrin. Adrin's the one who's still alive. Shit.
Adrin's the one alive. Yes, Amyr.
Oops.
Yeah.
I hadn't even realised, man. I
No,
lost
I'd
track of
forgotten.
who each brother was. Like I said, I am just the conductor, mate. This is more
Alright.
you specific than me specific. I try to keep track of it, but juggling.
Yep. So I'm waiting for Adrin.
And
Now.
as you do, Adrian comes in, full dress, ceremonial armor, gleaming, comes to stand at the head of the guards with the imminent arrival within the next year of his cousin. He is now the first sword of House Gillison, taking his younger brother's place. Across his armor is what is the colours of House Gillison? You've got the crest there.
Pretty much gold and like a white background, I think.
So there's this deep gold sash with white borders on it, running
I've got
diagonally
like
from his right shoulder to his left hip, with worded in Elven there, bearing the family motto. He gives you a grave nod and calls out, "Company, salute!" Guards snap to, and they don't salute Carrick, they salute you as the one organising this. Company face, beer! Present arms! And stand there, stone still. Faces grave, giving this warrior all due honour. Well, lad, it's your show. Do us proud. And send your brother his final rest.
Varys gestures with his hands for all the elves to kneel down next to the bier. And he goes and lights a torch. Real flame this time.
Yeah.
And then he stands at the head of the bier and he starts saying the elven funeral prayer. Nostra est in hoc regno brevilis est sicaba ad dignanium ius sacrificium ignum corporale fraterlum offerem. Canae recipium Amyr qui nobis relicat ut phoenix cassis novum vitam hic mundo
Intulit.
intulit. Amyr, yes. Amyr de cineris surge et novum vitam tam comitor. And then he raises with the torch above his hand, and he says, "Surge, Amyr, surge," and drops the torch on the body, and it steps back.
Those oils that have been placed on the flame ignite and catch wood on fire as well as the fire surges up 5 foot, 10 foot, and in a flash of blistering heat, the beer and the effigy are consumed within moments. Almost on cue, as that flame reaches its peak, you hear a cry as your uncle, Eric, falls to his knees, lifts his voice to the stars, and starts keening in grief. Anyone wondering on the language, Elven, as per requested by Dad, is actually based off of Latin in this world.
Gathered it.
I will quickly do this for the stream for everyone. The Elven funeral prayer translates this: "Our time in this realm was short. Our time in this realm is short. Like the tree, to symbolize its sacrifice, we offer fire to the body of fire to the body of our brethren. May Kenai receive Amyr, who has left us. As the phoenix fall brought new life to this world, all Amyr, rise from the ashes and start your new life. Rise, Amyr, rise."
And that last line would have been repeated by the entire, or at least the Elven group there.
Yeah.
Including the guard. And as the fire dies down, that sound, that terrible, grieving sound from Carrick, slowly fades as the fire does. And you gather that as the fire releases him, it also symbolizes the last moment of grief before you move on. And instead of grieving, honor their past and their rise to the embrace of Kenai. As the fire dies down, so does keening sound, terrible grief that Carrick was showing. And his head slumps forward as onto his chest, breathing hard. There's a moment of silence. Everybody expect to recall the best moment of past life of Amyr. And the guards look at you expectingly. waiting for you to extol, now that grief is done, the virtues of your brother, and what the times you remember, the best of times, to honour his memory, now that the grieving is done.
My first week in basic training. My first week in basic training, my brother and the commander of the training unit realized that I was never really built for fighting. But although this does not mean the lessons taught me by my brother shall be lost. He was irreplaceable. And whilst he is gone, he will never be gone. For he lives in my heart, in Carrick's heart, in the heart of everyone, in the heart of everyone he touched. And Amyr looks down Varis looks down in silent contemplation to promote, and steps back to say he's done. You're not coming through.
At this, Adrian steps forward. My younger brother was the bravest man I ever knew. He fought long and hard to defend the honour of the house during the dark times, to beat back that darkness within us more than anyone. He stood firm against that hopelessness, that paranoia. He would ride out against our father's wishes, against our uncle's wishes, to protect those set upon by their neighbours, to prevent riots, to prevent murders. I have never known a man of greater honour, and I call myself privileged to have called him brother. And as time goes by, several of the soldiers step forward to honour him with their memories of him. As things wind down, the guard, at Adrian's command, snaps to, salutes, and marches from the grove. Give the family one last moment. Carrick starts to rise, looks at you. You've done well, lad. You've done well. And I'm sure he heard your words.
Varis really doesn't reply, but he just silently says, "Thank you," with like a hand on Carrick's shoulder. The other thing, which I just invented, Varis arranged for about seven or eight little glass jars, teeniest of glass jars.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands one to Adrian, one to Carrick, and he has the rest. And he walks over and takes some of the ashes from the pyre,
Mm-hmm.
puts a stopper on it, holds it to his chest,
Yep,
and walks
yep.
away. And Carrick and Adrian, in turn, do this themselves.
Noted. Love it.
As soon as the funeral has officially ended, Carrick will Varis will fill some more and pass them on to Carrick to send back to the Great Wood.
Okay. Can I just say that this is part of what I love about GMing, especially in a homebrew world, is hearing you guys help create the systems within it. That there was pure that whole ritual. I guided it, but he came up with the majority of it. Though I did throw a curveball at him at the end there. And so you all leave the grove quietly. Denson, you've stood silent witness to this. So very different from your own people's means of honouring the dead, let's say.
He's found it all quite moving, to be quite honest. And with great care, he takes whatever's remaining of the ashes and puts them in an urn. And make sure that they go to where they need to go. He asks, well, he taps Varis on the shoulder and just said, "Where would you like the rest of the ashes to be?"
If you wouldn't mind, the ground here seems like a lovely place for them to be.
I'll make sure that they go to the garden so that the new life can come from old.
Thank you, he says, touching. Once again, silently conveying more than thanks by just touching him on the shoulder as he carefully says thank you.
Denzin bows and has a word with his goes and has a word with his deputy about everything that's going to be happening. You know, the seeds arriving from the Great Wood, what to do with them, and to sprinkle the ashes throughout the garden.
Okay. So as you're doing that, the sun's rising. It's nice. The dawn has occurred while this is happening, and we're coming into morning. Colin, it's morning. You can feel the sun through the tent. Warm.
I'm going to stop you right there, dude. I'm so sorry, but I am so tired. It's a slog to
Fair
think.
enough.
So, Colwyn,
Fair
like
enough.
myself, will be sleeping in today as he's been busy all night for all that stuff. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to duck.
Fair enough.
Gang.
No worries.
Look forward to next time, and
Yep.
thank you all.
Yeah, see you next week, Ed.
Yes. Oh, I go to sleep.
No worries. Well, he escaped by the hip. He used his, disengage here. Sneaky.
Absolutely.
Rogues for you.
Yeah. To be honest, do we want to just sort of
I'm thinking we'll
leave
just
this-
leave it
leave it
there.
there?
It's a short session. It was always going to be. I mean, I didn't even think we'd have Coleman then.
Right.
He said he was going to be late, and then he wasn't.
Right, got you.
Anyway, sorry about the early session for anyone that was watching.
Can I just say, Ash, that's definitely the MVP.
Well, yeah. I'm not even going to sort of say us because, you either he votes for you or you vote for him at this point. So,
I wouldn't
you know
mind if
what?
he voted for himself on that one. That was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
So give yourself inspiration for the next bonus inspiration there, Dad. It was really well done. I love the prayer.
Agreed.
I love the funeral ceremonies that you had there. I did put a few touches in there. I don't know how much of a ham I made of it, but I really like the concept of the grieving into honouring. but really well done.
Agreed.
Title for that mini session. Surge Amyr, Surge would work for me, but whatever you guys want to do.
What do you think, that?
Yeah, Surge and Mere Surge.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Because even with the dream and whatnot, the focus of the session was the funeral.
Agreed.
Even with Hound's leaving footprints in solid stone.
Yeah, slightly disturbing.
You're welcome.
Well, Tenzin doesn't know about that yet.
I've heard of patrons getting cranky with their patrony and withholding power, etc. like that. But I've never heard of a war between two beings over a patron. If that's what this
Good
is.
point.
Which
My
is
mind
also
it's a war between two patrons.
Yeah. But
To be
as
quite
to
honest,
how and why.
Yeah, the thing that's worrying me is, why are they picking on Varis? What is Varis going to do?
And what is it? Is it about Varis, or is it about two people sort of? Is it I want what they have sort of? What is it about?
But why Varis? That's the
And
question.
what and how is this other being able to interfere with the connection between a warlock and a patron?
Well, exactly. Which is actually the most worrying thing about it all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well done, that.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
That was a really moving session. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Apologies for my crappy Latin.
Better than mine, man.
It wasn't bad, actually. I actually understood a bit. So.
And so Google Translate actually got some of it right. Cool.
As far as I could make out, yes, but I'm not exactly very well up on Latin.
It doesn't matter. It's a basis. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong anyway. It's Elven, so it doesn't have to be exact. It's whatever you say it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got the general gist of the Latin, but it's more from learning other languages rather than learning Latin itself.
Anyway, sorry about the short session for anyone that's watching. I was surprised we actually went forward today, knowing that we were going to be down people with spotty attendances, etc. I knew about that yesterday, but I wanted to see who turned up. I was hoping that at least G and Denson would, because they were the ones most involved with that scene, and I could close that out and move forward from there next week.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fitting end to his brother.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you have, promise we will either be here or have more next week, or I will apologise and we won't be here.
Bye for now.
Stay safe, have fun, don't do anything we wouldn't do. And on that notion, don't do things that we would do either. We're degenerates.
All right. Laters.